Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana, one of the winners today, as also Bitcoin is showing some strength. I think I made it quite clear in yesterday's video after we already had the breakout above the trend line there, above the neckline of this inverse head and shoulders pattern, that should Bitcoin suddenly start to show some strength, that we should not be surprised if the price reaches the head and shoulders target that we calculated, even though it's not really in line with the most imminent Elliott wave count target. But if we add here the head and shoulders target, then it would take us to around about $32, 32, 33. It's a target we talked about. I did say just be a bit careful if Elliott wave targets and the head and shoulders target don't really align, because someone is lying there, okay? But there are obviously also always the possibility that an uptrend extends. So we'll see. I mean, certainly we can see potential 5-wave move up. That's what we wanted to see as confirmation that Solana really, or as first confirmation, I should say. First confirmation, there are always different levels of confirmation, and how much confirmation you need as a trader, that really only depends on your own strategy portfolio, right? I can't give you an answer for that. When you trade, what you buy, how you buy, when you buy, that depends only on you. I can really only indicate here with the analysis the different scenarios as well as the relevant pivot points. So to keep it very simple, there is one bullish case here. I mean, there are basically two variants of the bullish case, but we don't really need to go into too much detail. I don't want to confuse you. Yesterday I showed you two bullish scenarios, and that confused some of you, which I said, if I show you too many, it will it will confuse you. On the other hand, I need to show you the likelihoods and possibilities, because if I don't, then you might be missing out on a crucial scenario that might be important to know, right? So either way, at the moment, this uptrend is still unfolding. This white wave count ideal target range was between $25.50 and $27. Or, well, it was this previous swing high I showed you around $27.30. That's basically where we are. There's also next micro resistance level that needs to be broken, and currently there is no signal that Solana wants to stop the rally. Okay, so at the moment, this is still an active uptrend, hasn't been broken. I made you aware in yesterday's video that a first indication that this uptrend is over would be a break below $23.20. So of course we are far away from that. So at the moment, until the uptrend is broken, don't fight the trend. The trend is your friend. It's not your friend if you don't respect it. So if you just take this chunk here, this is an uptrend due to the fifth wave to the upside and the break above a key trend line that we've been observing for a while. Okay, so now we need to talk about how, if it extends further, what would be the next relevant pivots and fib levels to watch. Okay, so next targets to watch. We have the $27.30 level, obviously, as I indicated here, this previous swing high, which might be broken if Bitcoin continues to rally. It's also a crucial level, not only because it's the previous swing high, but we had quite a bit of resistance in this area before. So breaking above that level would really be something quite meaningful. So that's important. And then the price would need to break eventually above the $32.40 level, which is another structural resistance level, which is the July high. So if we now take a look at resistances, they are also key pivots. So to really unlock something more bullish, more direct upside, a complete breakout, escalation, you could say, to the upside, we would need a break above $29.10. That's the 78.6 retracement. This makes the yellow wave count again less likely. So as these probabilities unfold in real time, this here could still be a wave 2 pullback in a more bearish scenario. Okay, it would be the yellow scenario in which a third wave to the downside could unfold, but this will reduce in likelihood above $29.10. Why? Because a wave 2 should ideally not break above the 78.6 retracement. So I would estimate or assume that the $29 level here will be important resistance. It's certainly a key pivot. A break above it would shift probabilities further into the white wave count structure, which, as I said before, should take us sort of, and well, you'll see that on the think we've got it on the daily chart. It should take us sort of into the $40 to $50 region, this third wave. And the question is just, okay, how would it subdivide? There are, of course, different ways of how this can subdivide. I don't want to show you all of them because people get confused. Then the point is, as long as we are in an uptrend, we're in an uptrend, and we shouldn't fight the trend, okay? So all we can do is to indicate the key pivots to watch, the key levels to watch, and the key support against which we can focus on higher, and which has been this $23.20 level down there, okay, the wave 4 low. So what I will do, I will add here the 78.6 retracement level onto the chart, so everybody's got that level as key pivot level to watch. So that means the ultimate, let's say, bearish possibility here will get much less likely above $29.10, which is the level that the market would use to tell us that it really wants to break out and that something really much more bullish is going on. So a quick reminder, let's take a look at the daily time frame first before we carry on, or the long-term chart rather. Let me just double check here. So looking at this chart, it shows you this was the long-term, let's say, accumulation area. We've left it to the upside. We are now at this green line, critical resistance, as I said, around about $27. And then we are potentially moving here in this bullish structure, and watch this trend line of the wedge pattern. This could be around $35. So this is another level to watch as we go higher. So what we cannot rule out is that some kind of a strange wedge pattern is working out here on the weekly time frame. This is just something we need to keep in mind, yeah? So someone also asked me where is reward high and risk low? Well, you see it on the weekly chart. I show these all the time. I mean, the closer you get to the yellow box, the better the reward to risk ratio, obviously, to the upside. We did enter that in December last year. So this is an important level, I would say, long term. Now, if you're further away from that, it doesn't mean you couldn't buy. That just depends on your own trading plan, right? And then on the shorter time frame chart, we had this orange box here, which was, let's say, I don't want to say a good area to buy because that ultimately depends on you, your portfolio, and your strategy. But it was the area where we were watching for a reversal. So this was another interesting area to potentially pay attention to. We also had, I think, one here, which I took off because we don't want to have too many colorful boxes on the chart. But I mean, all I can do in the analysis is to indicate the pivot points. I cannot tell you to buy because honestly, that really depends on your own portfolio and strategy. And it really does because, you know, what could be a good trade for one person could be a bad one for another person. And it ultimately depends on the overall risk in your portfolio. It ultimately depends on, you know, so someone might enter a short trade here because reward is high and risk is low now, you know, for a short trade. Because you could just set a stop above $29, right, for a short trade. But on the other hand, the uptrend is still running. Some people don't want to take short trades. So, you know, you can really not give, or I can really not tell you when to buy. I can definitely give you the key pivots and the relevant levels to watch, for example, for trend continuation, the levels when one scenario will get invalidated, the levels when I will change my opinion. That's all what I do. And then as we get to these levels where scenarios get invalidated, these are typically interesting levels to position yourself for a trade because you're very close to an invalidation point. That means risk is very low, whereas reward is very high. But ultimately, the decision to buy or sell depends much more on your past trading decisions, trading strategy, portfolio risk, and everything else than on the chart itself. The analysis is really only a tool that gives you some levels to watch, around which you can build your own trading plan. And honestly, if you don't even have a trading plan, don't trade. Okay, that's very simple. Very, very important to understand. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, what can I say? We talked about this inverse head and shoulders pattern. It's good to see some interest come back, good to see some bullishness come back. And now we just need to wait for a potential top in place, if there is one. And if the structure still looks bullish when we have a top, then I will indicate support for a wave 2. That could be the next interesting pullback trade zone, if anybody wants to use it. But at the moment, the trend is still up, so I cannot give you a clear I don't have the crystal ball to say it will stop here. Okay, it is an area to watch here around the $27, $27.30 level, because we had previous resistance there quite a bit. It's quite a difficult area to get through. You could maybe even compare it sort of to the 30K level for Bitcoin. Sort of, it's not the same, but it's a very important resistance level here. The price just couldn't get above it throughout 2023, and when we finally got above it, it was a huge fake out. So this is a key level to watch. And then the $29 level is the next fib level to watch. And then, yeah, as we go lower at some point, right, if we go lower, then it would be the level below $23.20 that will give us a strong indication that this rally is over, actually already a little earlier, but this is then less reliable. So if we pay attention to the 50% fib level of the high, which is $25.40, if that breaks, I mean, that's the first indication things might be turning around, but then I would not really want to confirm that until we also break below the neckline of the inverse head and shoulders pattern. So hopefully that gives you the clarity you need. Hopefully that gives you all the relevant levels. The trend is definitely still up on the shorter time frame. We now need to see if the $29 level is broken or not, but already at the moment the price is hovering just below structural resistance and fighting to break above $27, which, as I showed you, is a key level as well structurally and historically on the chart. Yeah, that's my update about Solana. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.